guys, it's Finn and Drew.
Hiya.
We thought we'd better do an overdue catch-up. I've just done, well not just done, a few weeks ago, done my 2 years on testosterone video. And up until this point you've been kind of doing a catch-up with me about how it feels. But it felt a bit weird to ask you to do a how does it feel watching me transition in light of what's going on.
You mean my transition?
Yeah. So let's do a little brief kind of how it's been for you, like this whole 2 years, watching me change and how that's been.
Okay.
Try and do that as separate to everything else, and then we'll do the other thing.
Sure. It's been good. It's not actually been that bad, has it? Really?
No, I think it's gone a lot better than we were worried it could.
Well, if you look back at other videos, then we basically turned around and were just generally scared because we didn't know what was to come. We did, but at the same time there was that kind of blind spot where you just didn't know how you were going to react to it and
well, it's more
how I'd react to it as well.
In terms of having a boyfriend.
Yes. It's been interesting.
Yeah. having a hairy partner.
Having a hairy partner.
Yeah. How's that?
Hairy.
Yeah. It is actually really hard to talk about this as separate, actually, isn't it? It's almost impossible.
It is a little bit.
Having a boyfriend, because you're a girlfriend having a boyfriend, but now of course you're a boyfriend having a boyfriend. Hang on, we're jumping ahead. Okay.
We're keeping it separate.
We're gonna.
Right. No. Well. Okay. On your side of things, then from my perspective, it's gone a lot better than there was the fears of it going, on the grounds that it has been gradual, but at the same time there's been days where it's like, oh my god, you've got so much more hair, and you'd have that little moment of reality where you'd think, wow, the changes you've made are phenomenal, and just generally watching you grow into yourself every day a bit more has, if anything, it's just been beautiful. There's always going to be hurdles along the way of changing and things we like and dislike about it, but generally, well, we're still here, still sat next to each other doing a video, so
it's also hard to separate normal changes as well, isn't it? Because 2 years together as partners, you go through changes anyway, regardless.
Absolutely.
So, but I mean, you had fears about like whether you'd be attracted to me as a hairy man, whether you'd like deal with the identity of being with a man, and that's been.
I suppose the identity of being with a man has probably been one of the harder ones, just on the grounds that I was at a stage and quite comfortable at being a lesbian, so
yes.
Which again sounds quite weird right now.
Yeah.
But it's I just kind of dealt with it in a jovial way, really. If people came up and asked, I'd be like, well, yeah. At that point, I'd be like, yeah, I'm a lesbian, but my boyfriend's at home and hopefully cooking me dinner, and so yeah, I just kind of, I don't know, you just get on with it. At the end of the day, I love you whether you're male, female, strawberry,
You're a
potato.
strawberry.
Am I?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Sorry.
Alright,
So, but of course this is all very different experience for you, because you've come out as transgender and begun transition and now
Yes.
living as male. So
Yes.
it's not just how watching me transition has affected you and our relationship, but also how it must be watching me transition and feeling envious and wanting it for yourself, and
Yeah, there was a little bit of envy there.
a little bit.
A little bit, sometimes. I don't know, I kind of.
It's got to be bloody hard when you're waiting for it yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Because it was hard for me watching my friends online get hormones, get top surgery and what have you.
It's frustrating, I suppose, for me more than anything. I don't want to have resentments against you, and I don't want to be jealous either, because they can be quite ugly things. So, and I tend to stay away clear of that kind of stuff. But
it's important to talk about it,
Of
because
course,
I've
of
got
course.
ugly feelings as well. There's bits of me that, you know, resentful, because, you know, trying to kind of dull down my excitement sometimes because I don't want to upset you, and it's really, really hard, and these, you know, these are normal feelings.
Yeah. See, and then on that respect, I then also have the guilty part as well, because it feels like I don't want to shadow or hinder your transition in any way on the grounds that you think that I'm jealous or resentful or anything else, and it is a bit of a vicious circle, unfortunately.
It's really complicated, isn't it? There's a lot of emotions going on. There's a lot of guilt on both sides, because I feel guilty if I'm struggling with your transition.
I think
because
I love watching you go through it all, though, and as much as, yes, there is that element of, you know, I wish I was at that stage too, you know, there is a massive percentage of it. It's just, I'm just so happy for you, and just watching you grow is amazing. And, you know, that jealousy and envy then, to a certain extent, turns into a positive, because I can turn around and go, well, this is how it's worked for you, and videos I watch and I can see how it's worked for them, and think, do you know what, somewhere down the line I'm going to be at that stage as well. And as much as it's frustrating saying I want it now, there is that part of me that's like, I will get there, and that is also quite a lovely feeling too. So it kind of swings and roundabouts, really.
Well, yeah, I think the bonus of this is we can support each other, and absolutely I know how you felt waiting for hormones, and you know how I felt dealing with a partner transitioning. So
absolutely,
it's like
role reversal, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's been 6 months since you came out, and the kind of first video we did together, and the few that I've done have been like quite painful, I think, because it's been, for me, definitely the hardest bit so far is getting rid of the denial, because I've known that you were going to transition, but I think a bit of me was hoping you wouldn't, just because it's just complicated. I think we've been through enough, and to ask us to go through more, you know, it's hard, but I love you and I support you in whatever you want to do, but it's still been really difficult to kind of process you not wanting to, and then feeling guilty for you not wanting to, because you supported me, and it is so hard. And just kind of dealing with being a gay man, because I don't want to be a gay man. I'm not a gay man.
Neither am I.
So that's been the that's been the hardest thing. But I think over these last 6 months, I completely accept and see you as a man, and it's fine. And I think we're doing with us what we did with my journey, which we did a little bit at a time. This bit, dealing with the conceptual bit of you being he, you being Drew, us being a gay man, gay male couple. I've kind of like dealt with that. The next bit will be dealing with hormones, and I'm starting to get a bit excited now about you going on hormones and seeing how quick it is you grow a ginger beard. But I think my sticking point is still this kind of, I'm now a gay man, and
I think that's my biggest difficulty in it all as well. I don't want to be a gay man, and I'm not a gay man, so
it's confusing, isn't it? We both sit and we'll see women and go, oh, she's really good looking, and yet we're two men. And you said something at Glastonbury that it hurts. You know, someone was asking you who your male crush was, and you went, I kind of don't do men, and it kind of hurts.
Yeah.
But it's this, oh God, it's so hard. It's so very hard.
I think we confused the hell out of them as well.
I think we did as well. I think we absolutely confused our poor neighbours at Glastonbury. Sorry if you're watching. So you kind of feel the same way as I do, really, don't you? That you don't want to be... I spoke about this in my last video, how what's really sticking in me isn't being a gay man, it's how then people perceive and treat me. Like, I'm being treated as one as the girls. Oh, I'm a gay man, so therefore I must like shopping, handbags, and being treated as one of the girls. Yes, I'm as camp as Christmas, but please don't treat me as one of the girls.
To be fair, you do like buying bags.
I like buying bags, but they're man bags. But it's this being suddenly treated like one of the girls again, and I've been treated like one of the girls all my life, and I'm not a girl, and I'm finally being treated like a man and seen as a man. And then as soon as people realise I've got a boyfriend, they're treating me like one of the girls, and I'm finding that the hardest. So it isn't kind of dealing with your transition as such that's hard, but I remember you saying this. It's not you changing or you being he, it's then people's perceptions of me as a consequence. And yours was, at the time, you didn't want to lose your lesbian identity.
Yeah.
and now I don't want to lose my well, not even a straight identity. I just don't want to lose my identity.
Yeah.
It's not that it's straight. I'm trying not to lose. It's just I don't want to lose being seen as a man after fighting this long. And yes, okay, being seen as a gay man, still being seen as a man, but it's not.
No, I do get that as well. I'm kind of, I suppose I'm on a different stage of that, on the grounds that I'm not necessarily, yeah, that's a lie, you're so not. It's my cup. Just so you know. Yeah, no, I do identify with it, but at the same time I'm at a different stage, because as much as I identify as a man,
You're not being.
I'm not being read as one.
Yeah.
And so I probably confuse people even more than you do sometimes, because I look like a lesbian, but I'm with a bloke that's technically a gay man. So
I think people think we're really
it's
good
a
friends until we
lesbian
kiss.
going out.
With a,
It's a lesbian in a straight relationship with a gay man. Anyway, so yeah, I think I kind of see it a bit differently at the moment.
Yeah.
My biggest fears is, and again it was something I brought up at Glastonbury, was when I am read correctly, you know, public displays of affection and stuff like that, it's going to make it very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not just the numpties out there that have the wrong opinion and could be violent towards us. It's just, you know, it's for us as well, of we want to be seen as men, but not gay men.
Yeah.
So if we're having public displays of affection with each other, we're not really helping ourselves, are we?
This is the thing, isn't it? It's an
So
identity
it's just
that's
trying to work it
invisible
all out.
again.
Yeah.
And I mean, as two women, we've been shouted at in the street, haven't we?
Yeah.
But I think you're in far more danger, not always, but quite often, if it's two gay men than if it's two gay women.
Yeah.
And we've had this wonderful period of time where, in me being read 100% as male, we've just been seen as a straight couple, and we've had the freedom to be able to kiss and cuddle in public and no one's batted an eyelid.
Yeah.
And now, going back to, you know, being in a gay relationship, but even worse than before, I feel,
cautious.
and I can feel your caution, and it's upsetting when we're out and about that all of a sudden now you'll kind of withdraw from me in public, and that really, really upsets me, because we shouldn't have to do that.
It upsets me too, but you know, I just want to get my head kicked in as well.
No, I
though,
know,
you
I know.
so-
So I'll kick them back now.
I'll back you up.
Hit them with my handbag and run away.
That was so camp.
I
Oh
know.
God.
I am camp, and I love
but
my
I was
camp
as well.
personality. I love it. It's just it's just so hard to explain this to people. Like you're saying about.
It's hard to explain it to ourselves.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I think it's just because it's early days, and I think because my identity is still being built. And I think what really does stick with me is just I'm now creating who I am properly for the first time, and I do not want anyone else to stick their oar in and tell me who I am, and I think that is what is my biggest difficulty.
Oh, it's labels and boxes.
Yeah.